Hi everyone, welcome back. Let's do some hands-on activity for security group. So security group, like I said earlier, that it is kind of a guard firewall which is protecting your resources. So for example, EC2 instance, right? So let's start with EC2 instance. What I'm going to do, I'll just create a new EC2 instance, and while we will launch the EC2 instance, we will see this security group what we are going to add, and then we will proceed further. So I'll just launch a new EC2 instance first. I'll just give demo for security group EC2. Okay, and then I will select Amazon Linux, that is fine. This is also fine, everything is free tier here, that is fine. Okay, key pair, I'll select my EC2 key pair 1, and here is the security group. So it says you want to create a security group or select an existing security group. So I'll just create a new security group, and all SSH traffic and all HTTP traffic I will select. Okay, everything is fine, and in advanced details I'll configure the user data. So I'll just copy this user data and we'll paste it here. It will just install the HTTP server, and we'll write this file so that we can access it using HTTP protocol. Okay, let's launch the instance, and I have already allowed HTTP as well as 22 port. So where is that? Yes, so SSH is 22 port, HTTP is 80 port. I have allowed that. Let's launch the instance. So it is successful. Let's go to that instance. And this instance is right now, it's in pending state. But if I click on this instance and go to security, the security group must have been created. So this is the security group created because we have selected create a new security group, right? So we can either click on this security group, we can go directly to the security group, or from left side also we can go to network and security and click on security group. So if I click on the security group, and here itself in the security group, since we have selected 80 port range, 80, 22, and source from anywhere. This means anywhere. It is if the traffic comes, then it is accepted, so it is allowed. And outbound rule says everywhere, because destination is 0.0.0.0/0. It means everywhere it can go, so that is allowed. Okay, now I'll click on security group. Okay, and we can see the same rules are here. So inbound rules, 2 inbound rules are there for this security group, and outbound rules, 1 outbound rule is there, which is like destination is everywhere, anywhere. Okay, now let's go back to our EC2 instance, and by this time that instance must be up. So it is running state. If I click here, I'll get the public IP, and then let me open it. Let me actually copy it because it will open it in HTTPS, and we have only allowed HTTP protocol. So I'll write HTTP colon the IP, and we are getting this learning is fun. Remember, this is 80, the HTTP one, right? So I'll go back to my security group here, and we have given this rule, which is port 80, right? If some inbound request is coming for port 80, then it is allowed. Okay, what I will do is I'll just delete this entry. I'll just edit inbound rules. Okay, and I will just delete it. So just for this one, the 81 I'm deleting. Let me delete it and save the rule. So instantly it will be applied to my EC2 instance. Now if I go back here, maybe I'll just duplicate. So it is just going and going and going. It will, and eventually it will time out. So whenever we will get any timeout related issue, it means it's a security group related issue. Maybe that port, etc., or the IP from where you are accessing, something is not correctly configured. That is why you are getting that error. So the fix would be you just go to your security group and check what is wrong. Now I'll just put that entry back. So just need to click on add rule, and what we want to do is we want to allow traffic for HTTP. Default port is 80, and anywhere. Okay, we can save this rule, and now if I access it again, I'm able to access. Now here, like we added it for port 80 and 22, we can also add rule for other type as well. There are the types also, for example, HTTPS, SMTPs for mailing server, SSH is already configured, maybe for HTTPS for 443 port, right? And custom ports can also be defined, right? And yes, we can provide CIDR ranges also, that is also possible. Okay, so this is how we configure the security group, and we can edit the inbound and outbound rules. One more thing, if we go back to security groups, okay, and we can see right now these are the security groups. For example, this one we have just newly created, right? If we try to delete the security group, and maybe that is already associated, attached to an instance which is in running state, okay, or what will happen? Let's try that. So I have just selected everything, and I'll try to delete the security group. So it says the following security groups can be deleted. They are either default security groups, so it means default security groups cannot be deleted, that is one point, or referenced by other security groups, or they are associated with instance or network interface. So it means if we to confirm deletion, delete below. Okay, I'll still try. Let's see what happens. So if I now refresh, so these security groups, right, because one is the default one, right, and the second one, which I believe is being referenced from our newly created instance. If I go back here, and this one we just created, I go to security. Yes, this is the same one, that's why it's launch wizard one. So one is the default one, and one security group is attached to the EC2 instance, and that is why we are not able to delete it. Okay, and the changes, whatever rules we are adding, removing, those changes will be reflected to all of the instances wherever the that security group is attached. So that's it in this video. Thank you so much for watching.